If you're thinking about getting a business loan, you're probably wondering what kind of documentation the bank is going to require from you. And I'm here to help you with that. If you don't know who I am and it's your first time here, my name's Ryan Stewman. I've been in the finance industry for 21 years. I'm the president and CEO of a company called Closer Capital, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs like you secure the capital that they need for their business. A lot of people think getting a business loan is going to be really similar to getting a mortgage, and I'm here to tell you it's actually a lot easier to get a business loan, and I'll explain why. When you're going through a mortgage, you are a consumer. And so they are requiring a lot of consumer protection documents, because in order to evict and foreclose on a consumer, then it's somebody who lives there, it's their habitation, it's a whole process to get somebody out. So therefore you have a ton of paperwork, discrimination on behalf of the banks, and all this other stuff that you got to deal with to get a mortgage. That's why people say getting a mortgage these days is a lot like pulling teeth. They want a DNA test, a stool sample, and everything else. When it comes to getting a business loan, it's nothing like that. It is 1/10 of the documents required by you in order to obtain financing for your business. Now, why would that be, right? They're going to give a secured loan to a consumer in the form of a mortgage, and it is harder to get than a business loan that's unsecured to an entity. Doesn't make sense to most people, but let me explain to you why it makes sense. Because, again, going through the foreclosure process, potentially bankruptcy, everything else can be very expensive for a lender on the mortgage side. On the business side, it's as simple as blacklisting you in the back end, and you don't ever get to borrow money for your business ever again. It's that simple. And all of that takes 72, 48 hours. It's a real simple process. So the lender can recap or at least have some recourse on what they're doing really quickly. But nevertheless, let's talk about the documents that are actually required by you if you're going to get a loan from a business. So let's talk about, first of all, what I call the simple loans. These are lines of credit, merchant cash advance, factoring, equipment loans, things of that nature, right? For the simple loans, we are talking about, first, you will need to fill out an application. Now, here's this is where this can be a pain in the rear for some of our clients, because we're going to have you fill out the initial application online, and then we're going to actually have you fill out another formal application at funding. The reason why you have to fill out two applications is because, first of all, you're filling out an application with us, Closer Capital, and then whoever the final destination that we present you to and close your loan with, they're going to want an application on their letterhead with their style and everything else as well. So you're going to have to take an application, potentially 2 times. We are going to need 6 months of all business bank statements. Now, what we're looking at is deposits, right? We're not looking at your hidden OnlyFans accounts that you hide from your wife. I see it, but your secret's safe with me. That's what we do. We're not HIPAA compliant because we're not doctors, but we're HIPAA quiet. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, back to the point here, 6 months of business bank statements. What we're looking at is your average deposit balance. So what we will do is we will add up all, let me do it this way. Let me write it this way. It'd be better. We'll add up all 6 months, and then that'll give us a total. And then we will divide that total by 6 months, and that will give us the average. Okay, so then over 6 months, we're looking at 6 months of your bank statements, deposits. It has nothing to do, you could make $10 million a month and spend $9,999,000. That doesn't matter to us. We're looking at deposits only in these simple loans, right? So we take everything together, then we divide it. This works out well because let's say that this was January and you did 100 grand. But in February, you did 150. But in March, you did 50 because you were busy. But in April, you did 200. And so, if we were to just go off a short period or a quarter, it might not show the whole picture. So we're going to want 6 months of all bank statements. We're going to need your LLC and partner paperwork. Okay, so if you have a business partner, no matter if you own 10% or 90% of the company, if you have a business partner, we're going to need to see the documents in the operating agreement to make sure that you're authorized to borrow the money on behalf of the company. You might possibly need your partner to sign as well. Now, on these simple loans, the cool thing is they don't report to your credit. So if you and your partner have to sign for them, they're not reporting on your credit. It's private money that we deal with in this scenario for these simple loans, so you got nothing to worry about there. Okay? Then on top of that, we may need a letter of explanation for any bad credit that you might have, any bills that you might have missed in the past. I had a guy 3 or 4 days ago that 2 years ago, this guy's making $2 million a month, but 2 years ago, his business went belly up and he had to get his truck repoed. And so I say, hey man, just explain what happened and that you're through that and you've got the proof now and you know we can work with that, because again, it's private money. It's not some artificial intelligent underwriter like Desktop Underwriter, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, something like that. It's an actual individual trying to see if it makes sense to loan your business money. So these are basically all we're going to need for these simple loans, right? Now, we might need a financial statement and potentially 1-year tax returns, just depending. Usually we get into the tax returns and financial statements when someone's credit's a little bit riskier. So if you've got a lower credit score, you might have some additional documents required. All right, so let's go into SBA loans. Okay, these are a little bit more complex. They're gonna want 2 years tax returns, 12 months bank statements. They're going to want an application and all that too. They're going to want your LLC paperwork. They're going to want your financial statement. They are going to want your P&L for the business that you're buying and your current business as well. And probably a litany of other stuff, depending on what type of SBA loan you're going for. But an SBA loan, if you've ever had a mortgage, is more like getting a mortgage. It's a government entity. They're going to request a DNA sample and all that other stuff. But the best thing about SBA is they have the best rates and amazing products. And you can borrow private money 2 or 3 times and work your way up to getting those SBA good loans and things of that nature as well. Lastly, we want to talk about commercial real estate. On this, they're going to want 2 years tax returns, 3 months bank statements. They are going to want an appraisal, an inspection, your LLC paperwork for existing and new if you are going to put the company, if you're going to buy this commercial real estate in a company name like I did for this building here, then they're going to want the LLC information for the company that I'm going to put it in and the company that I'm operating on. Then you're also going to do personal taxes. They're going to want to look at that. Basically, on the commercial side, it's asset secured. They're still lending to not a consumer, but a business. So it's a little bit more lax than a mortgage, but they're going to ask for all your financial stuff. So the lesson to take away from this video is now you know what documents are going to be required for the most part. There might be little things here and there, but for the most part, we've got them covered in this. But here's the thing. If you're a business owner and you don't already have these in QuickBooks and set up to where you can just click a button and print it out and it's done for you, then you're not operating your business correctly. You're missing some of the financial pieces that you need, which means you're probably overpaying for taxes, which means you're probably not set up to get approved for funding right now, which means you probably look terrible in front of the banks and the underwriters. Then you need to start, if you don't already have these things, you need to start putting these in place immediately, because if your business is booming right now's the time to get the money. Right now's the time to take a loan. The time to go out and raise money is not when you need money. The time to go out and borrow money is not when you need money. It's when things are good and you can put that money to work for you and take it to the next level. So if you need money, you can simply go to closercap.com and fill out the application that I talked about earlier in the video. One of my professional funding specialists will reach out to you. You can tell us anything. We are your liaison. We want to help you achieve your goal. We will do whatever it takes to make sure that you get the loan that you deserve and that you earn within the matter of we're not going to commit fraud. Outside of that, you can tell us anything. We're like a doctor. It stays between you and I, and we're going to work down to get your loan approved and funded. So go to closercap.com and apply and share this with somebody that you know needs to learn about the documents required to get a business loan.